Every year, the villagers left bread, milk, and flame at the forest's edge. Not out of faith, but habit. The kind that keeps doors from creaking open at night. They said the woods were older than time's count. That on Samhain, they woke and took inventory of what the living still owed. No one had crossed the tree line in a generation. Not until Ava.
Welcome to our short story tonight called The Lantern Path. Ava never believed the woods were haunted. She'd grown up beside them, seen their mood change with the seasons. Gentle in spring, brittle in winter, and soft as old ash come autumn. The stories were for outsiders or children who needed a reason not to stray. But this Halloween the forest changed. It began with the lanterns. At first, there were only a few pale yellow lights hanging from low branches near the tree line. People said they were decorations for the village procession, set early to mark the turning of the year. But then, they began appearing deeper in, glowing cold and steady where no one should have gone. By the third night, they reached the old stone well 1/2 mile in. No wind could snuff them out, no rain dim them. They burned a color that wasn't quite fire, more honey than flame, more thought than light. The elder said to leave them be. Ava didn't. She told herself it was curiosity, but beneath that, something else stirred. A pull, low and certain, like a heartbeat through soil. She couldn't stop thinking about the boy she'd lost to the woods the year before, Rowan, her younger brother. 10 years old and wild as midsummer, he'd vanished the week after the harvest. No body, no trail, just a single boot at the forest's edge and a smear of something black on the bark. When the first lanterns appeared, Ava started dreaming again of laughter in the trees, a voice calling her name, soft and echoing, like it came from under the ground.
Ava, Ava.
So on the night of Halloween, she decided to go into the woods. No procession, no offerings, just her, a coat too thin for the cold, and a borrowed lantern from her neighbor's porch. The air shifted as soon as she crossed the first ring of trees. The woods weren't silent, but their sounds were wrong, muffled somehow, as if she'd stepped into a room that was listening back. Leaves whispered, not with wind, but with intention. Her own flame struggling to stay alive against the thick dark. The strange lanterns ahead burned brighter, leading her onward in a jagged trail. Ava followed. She tried to mark her way, but the paths rearranged behind her, the undergrowth folding over footprints like the forest was healing itself. The deeper she went, the more the trees changed. Bark veined with faint gold light, knots that looked too much like eyes. The air smelled of iron and apples gone to rot. At last, she reached the clearing. Lanterns hung everywhere, hundreds of them, woven into the canopy like a second sky. Their light didn't move, steady, pulseless, and each one seemed to hum, low, rhythmic, too close to a heartbeat. And beneath them, shadows, not the kind cast by trees or people, but shadows that stood on their own, long-limbed and still. Then one of them smiled. It was a child's shape, a little too tall, its mouth too wide. The light from a nearby lantern pooled in its hollow eyes, and for a moment she thought she saw Rowan. The small, sharp face, the missing tooth.
Ava,
It said, in his voice.
you came.
Her throat closed up a bit.
Rowan?
He stepped forward, or something that wore his form did. His movements were smooth, too certain, like he knew the ground better than his own body. He looked whole, but his clothes were wrong, patchwork of moss and bark, and something that glistened like wet leaves.
You shouldn't be here.
She whispered. He smiled again, softer now.
I was waiting. You had to bring the light.
What light?
He pointed to her lantern. Its flame had turned white, blindingly pure, burning straight and still. She hadn't noticed when it changed. The shadow shifted closer. Faces began to form among them. Men, women, children, some familiar, some strangers. Their eyes glowed faintly from within, the same hue as the hanging lanterns.
They came too.
Rowan said.
They couldn't go back.
Ava took a step back.
What are you?
He tilted his head, puzzled as if she'd asked something meaningless.
We're what the forest keeps.
Her lantern flickered, and with it came a sound. Faint laughter, dozens of voices blending into something almost like wind through reeds. The ground beneath her feet pulsed once, warm and slow. Then a voice behind her, low, adult-like, not Rowan's.
The path's long, but it always ends the same.
She turned. A woman stood there, pale as bone, hair spilling down like roots. Her eyes were made of candlelight. She reached out a hand, and Ava saw the veins under her skin shimmer with the same gold that ran through the trees.
You've brought the last flame.
The woman said.
Now the woods can rest.
Ava stumbled back, raising the lantern like a weapon.
I'm not here for you. I just want my brother.
The woman smiled, slow and pitying.
He isn't lost. He's home.
The forest sighed, a long exhale. that rattled the branches. The lanterns above flared one by one until the whole clearing burned in golden stillness. Every shadow turned its face to her. Rowan reached out.
It only hurts once.
Ava dropped the lantern. The instant it hit the earth, the light went out. Hers and all the rest. For a breath, everything was black. Then came a sound, the rustle of leaves, the groan of old wood, a wet whisper like roots drinking deep. When the light returned, it wasn't fire anymore. The lanterns burned from within, freshly lit from underneath. The faces she'd seen were gone, their bodies empty husks hanging in the trees, glowing faintly through their skin. Ava looked down and saw her hands changing too, veins swelling, filled with light that wasn't hers. Her breath came out golden. Her skin split softly along her arms like bark peeling. Rowan smiled, teeth gleaming amber.
See? You've always belonged here.
She tried to scream, but no sound came. Only light poured out. And in the village at dawn, people found new lanterns hanging at the forest edge, hundreds of them, warm and steady. Each held a shape inside the glass, a human silhouette, hands pressed against the glow. When they counted, there was one more than before.